Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back to another episode of F1 Fantasy Weekly, the game where you get 100 million budget to select 5 drivers, 1 constructor to compete against your friends and the world. And this week is the British Grand Prix preview. And we're going to be there.
Yeah, we may even do a live stream there.
We may. No guarantees, but we'll see how we're feeling. We'll see if we're kind and nice to you lot. But if you are going to the British Grand Prix and you want to have a chat, have a meet. Oh, I wouldn't say you get to meet us.
It's an honour, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we said, there'll be a queue of about 1 million people waiting to. So you're going to have to get there early.
Yeah, you're going to have to get there really early.
We'll have a big stand.
Yeah.
Silverstone.
Biggest stand out there. Will actually be higher than the highest grandstand.
Yes.
So you'll see F1 Fanatics above everything.
Super easy to spot.
Oh dear. But no, on a serious note, obviously we're happy to kind of meet people, talk about fantasy, talk about F1 and stuff. Just DM me on Twitter is probably the easiest way to go, or DM Stephen on Twitter. We'll both
That's not the easiest way to go.
No, that's not the easiest way. The easiest way is through me. The second hardest way is through Stephen.
You're a lucky person to get a reply from
Absolutely, and in the Discord as well. Obviously, if you're part of the Discord, we'll be keeping an eye on that. If someone's saying meet there, we'll generally.
Because I'm packing for Silverstone, I've packed all my Silverstone tops, Formula 1 tops. So I'm having to go jumper today.
Smart,
keeping the F1,
keeping it going, and I'm just in my Kimmy top. So
there we go. We're still going.
We're on the bare bones, although I can't really say that as
You've got 1 billion.
Yeah, I've got a lot.
You've got more shirts than people are going to turn up.
Absolutely. So on the let's get into this preview and just start talking. So usually we're on my account, but wait, screen recording goes live now. Okay. Usually we're on my account, but we're on Stephen's account this time because he has got 3 teams and we can go through a few more options. So Stephen, talk away.
Yes, well obviously this week is not really a big week. We have got the sprint qualifying, but it's kind of getting at a point that there are 2 teams now forming. The last few weeks, there's been 1 solid team, which you can see on the left-hand side, with the Max, Checo, Lando, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly, and Red Bull. That's kind of been the super team of late. But as you can see, the team in the middle is forming with a Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen team, along with Red Bull as a constructor with Max, Lando, Bottas, Mick, Yuki and Red Bull. But I don't think... Is your team slightly different than that?
Yeah, my team's slightly different than that. So I do have the budget of 7.5 mil, and people probably have more than that as well. So they might even be able to get into the upper echelons of a Carlos Sainz if they're really lucky, or a kind of a Fernando if they're really lucky. But I think Gasly is who I've got.
Yes.
I can have a Gasly or a knock-on.
I will say that team is a 104 million budget. So if you're around that range, you can achieve that team. And with Valtteri Bottas on a quali streak, quali streak. And
qualifying being his strongest suit.
Exactly. And you get Max Verstappen in there as well, who's on for his quali streak and possibly looking good for the double pole on the qualifying and sprint race. It's looking like a great alternative. If you want to take that gamble and go for it, try to go into the second lane, as it were.
I think the people who are behind, like such.
Whoa, I'm top 100, I think you'll find.
Okay.
In F1, in the F1 Fanatic League.
All right. But, there's still, you got to start taking, even top 100, you've got to start taking a few more risks. Going to it to kind of climb the ranks. The Bottas one is a little bit more of a gamble because Checo, he could have done really well and been the best turbo driver last time out. But because obviously he had that coming together with Lando Norris where he ended up in the gravel and didn't have a great race in the end, only finishing P6, was it? I think it was after the penalty.
Yeah.
A disappointing performance from Checo where Valtteri could, and he's qualified well at Silverstone and he's reasonably done well at Silverstone. Obviously, he had a tyre blowout last year that really affected him. But it could be a Mercedes, and I believe they're bringing upgrades for Silverstone.
Yes, they have got some upgrades, but you don't know how much they're bringing or if it will even bridge the gap at all to Red Bull.
Absolutely, but I think that's where your risk is going to be. And well, first of all, we should say Mega Driver. If you haven't played it, you play it this week. Lewis or Max Verstappen, whichever you're deciding to back. I think Max Verstappen is the safer bet, just because you can do so much more with your teams than the cost of having Lewis Hamilton in. Because even though Lewis Hamilton hasn't been winning, his price hasn't dropped under 30 million. I think the only time Lewis will be worth it is if either Mercedes somehow massively turn it around and start consistently winning races again, or Lewis drops under 30 mil.
Yeah, which isn't going to happen. It's far too much of a price drop. I didn't actually play around with the Lewis Hamilton team because it's so out of the equation that he's a bet over a Checo Max or a Max Bottas.
You'd have to heavily rely on the cheaper ones.
You'd have to change your constructor. I don't think you could have Red Bull as your constructor.
Yeah.
Which is a big hit.
Absolutely. Third team.
My third team is the 103 million budget. Is at that point you're really struggling. That team is mainly, these guys are going to get you teammate points. Probably. Sainz is the, 50-50, but Sainz has been very strong over the Austria doubleheader. So maybe some momentum going into Silverstone, which he was very good there last year. Another one that suffered from the tyre blowouts. That's your budget team on the right.
Yeah, and I think, Gasly, where possible, go in. The Schumachers and Giovinazzi, they're the kind of cheap picks I think you're going for on that basis. And Lando Norris has to be your turbo this week because he's the only driver on that double quali race streak.
Yeah. I haven't done the turbos and megas, which is why Checo's a turbo over there.
So if we're just looking at prices, as you can see, Hamilton's still 33 mil. Massively on there. Bottas is there, but I don't think he will go down. I think he's very much been there since last one. Checo, I don't think he will go up. I think he'll very much sit there, and actually he'll probably go lower down because I think a lot of people may jump off Checo going into this one and try the Bottas. And
Checo has no streaks going into Silverstone as well.
Yeah, I don't think anyone is going to jump in on Checo, but they might jump out of Checo. So that's why the price should kind of stay roughly the same. Leclerc continues to go down and doesn't really, because he had such a massive rise in the early season, like he was your money maker. He feels like
he is now your money loser.
He's now priced himself out of a good thing, as Carlos Sainz is.
He went up to 18 million at one point, I'm pretty sure, Charles Leclerc, and he's down to 17.5 already.
Yeah, he was pretty, I think he was almost on the verge of overtaking Checo.
Yeah. Checo's price has since gone up as well. So.
Absolutely. Ricciardo still obviously is not worth it for the cost.
Nope.
Vettel's you don't know what you're going to get for Aston Martin, but you see no price going there. I have jumped ship and jumped on Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi may increase as he's on a 76%, is it, sentiment there. it may have been able to sneak a 1.1, but I was just going, get my team ready for it. But yeah, most of that kind of money team, it has been the super team because it makes you money.
It also makes
and
you money.
also scores you a lot of points in terms of that basis. But yeah. Fernando Alonso is the only interesting driver around 14.8 million. On the race streak, obviously he's been in pretty good form recently. If he gets a top 10 finish, if you're going for a Carlos Sainz and you can afford that extra 0.5 million.
Put Mick Schumacher back in and then see if the 106 is enough for Alonso instead of Kenneth. It is. So, that's a shout. But that's with Checo. That is with Checo. This isn't a bias team.
Yeah, but if you're going to stick with Checo, those guys who are doing the consistent team, rather than hold on to Pierre Gasly in case he price increases over it, but if he doesn't price increase over it, then you're probably going to say Fernando Alonso is worth the gamble. He is a safer gamble than Bottas, I reckon, to get in the top 10. And if he gets in the top 10 with a race streak, definitely on Ocon's form feels more guaranteed to get those teammate points in both qualifying and race.
Yeah.
I think Fernando is a really good option this weekend.
Yeah.
Finally, I can say that in fantasy.
Yeah. He's probably, in my cheap team there, Fernando's probably pips Carlos Sainz there as well.
Absolutely.
If you have that 103 million budget kind of thing.
Yeah, 0.5 million difference between it, isn't it? I think, which would be the gap that you go. But that, I think pretty much...
That's kind of our quick run through, really.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's anything else. Like we said, if it kind of emphasize, if you have not used this Mega Driver, get it on Max Verstappen this weekend. All right? Turbo Driver, it cannot be anyone apart from Lando Norris.
Do you mega Lando Norris? That would be bold. You need him to get a podium. You need him to come top 3 in all 3, I think.
The problem is, if you mega him, you can't turbo him.
Yeah, but he could be the best mega of the season.
He could be, but you would still get more points from megaing Max and then turboing Lando.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. True.
Because you're still going to get, if he came in, you're still going to get a lot of points on that turbo.
Yeah. And
go from there. So, yeah, Lando, do not turbo anyone other than Lando Norris this weekend.
The double streaks. Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Obviously, I suppose we want to talk about it for those people who may have forgotten. It is sprint qualifying.
Well, before we do this, just a note, because it is the sprint race this week, which means the deadline for picking your team closes on Friday before the qualifying session, which I presume is about 2:00 British Summer Time.
Yeah, would make sense.
So yeah, make sure you don't get caught out by that, because you may be used to doing your team on the Saturday, waiting for the practices, but obviously we only get one practice session this weekend before you have to lock down your teams.
Absolutely. So, the sprint qualifying point system, the qualifying and race points are the same as always, but if you finish the sprint qualifying race, you will get that 1 point. For every position gained, you get +1, and that's just regardless from 20 to 1. In the race, obviously, there's a difference. There's a +2 points, isn't there?
If you're a top 10.
If you're in the top 10. But regardless of position, you can get a maximum of 5 points on overtakes. Finishing ahead of teammates, you get 2 points. Fastest lap, you can get 3 points, so that's quite a big one. That is a big one if you can get that. But again, minus points there, not classified, driver only there. Disqualification from sprint qualifying is -10. So, those are the ones to worry about. And then, as always, it's got the same points here from... Oh,
Whoa.
God. Whoa. Let's see if I can get it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. From first to 10th,
It really doesn't.
first to 10th, you get the 10 points as mirrors what you get in a race.
Yeah.
Mirrors what you get in qualifying as well.
No, not in the race, because the race is championship points.
Yes, very true. Mirrors what you get in
I
qualifying.
think qualifying is the same, yeah.
Absolutely. And what Stephen was saying there, here is a thing on qualifying. You've got FP. A normal weekend is how we play FP1, FP2, FP3. Qualifying, that's when your team is locked in, and then the race. Then we've got FP1, we've got qualifying on the Friday, and that is when the team gets locked in. There's an FP2, sprint qualifying, and race as well. All right. There we go. I think that's it.
Yeah, there we go. So in theory, if let's say Max is the Red Bull's the strongest. If Max gets pole in qualifying, wins the sprint race with fastest lap, and then wins the race on the Sunday with, I don't think he even needs fastest lap for the race win, he will be the best mega driver. Oh my God. The best mega driver of the season. He will just pip his score in Monaco if he gets the fastest lap and wins the sprint and qualifying sessions.
Yeah, if they were both on a race streak, it would have blitzed.
Yeah.
It would have blitzed it.
Yeah.
But obviously,
60 points. 30.
Baku stuffed that.
Yep. But don't worry, if you're holding off the mega, it's still a great weekend to do it. There's a bit more risk. You could still come out on top.
Absolutely. You went ballsy by not doing it at, what was it, Monaco?
Yep.
And I'm really glad I didn't do it because I went Lewis Hamilton at Monaco. And then what happened from there? But yeah, that's it, guys. So leave your thoughts in the comments below. As always, let us know your teams. Let us know if you're going to be at the race this weekend, if you're kind of British fans. Obviously, it's the first race that's going to be full capacity since COVID hit.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. That's going to be quite an experience to be part of. If you're there, stay safe and everything. If not, enjoy the race. Have a great weekend. Like we said, we'll see if we can get some live streams. Don't hold us to it. We'll just see what kind of goes on from that aspect. Yeah. And if they're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you F1 fans, keep racing.